On the last part, we set up for the fight between the Z Fighters and the androids. Without even a second to speak, Android 16 rushes Son Goku, with Goku taken aback by the android strength but doesn't worry too much while he's only in his base form. Trunks tells Vegeta that they should work together to take down one of the androids, but Vegeta scoffs at this remark, telling him to not get in his way, noting that a true Saiyan fights alone. As Vegeta steps up to fight Android 18, the Earthlings on the sideline start to team up against Android 19, all of them using Kaioken times 200, with the battlefield turning to a bright red due to the group's aura. Android 17 makes eye contact with Piccolo, commenting that the green man looks like he could be a good time. Piccolo smirks and tells the android that he has a good taste as they fly up. Everyone engages in their battles, and for everyone it's pretty much a cakewalk. Trunks is on the sideline in disbelief that this timeline is handling the situation so well, wondering what went differently that makes everyone here so much stronger. Goku is handling Android 16 pretty well, but the android being stronger currently, Goku knows he's still holding back a lot of power and wants to enjoy the battle before the fun is all gone. Trunks goes up to Gohan and asks him why is everyone so strong, with Gohan replying that he's not too sure himself, but he likes to think of the motivation that his father and Vegeta gave everyone after they defeated Frieza on Namek. Trunks tells Gohan that in his timeline, it didn't happen that way and Krillin died there, pondering on if that's the point where it was pivotal for everyone to become this strong. Gohan tells Trunks that he's the strongest in the group naturally, but Piccolo can push out more in short bursts. But nobody is stronger than Gogeta, not even Piccolo and him combined at full power. Trunks asks who is Gogeta, claiming to have never heard that name before. Then Gohan explains who and where Gogeta is, with Trunks coming to the realization that that's the difference in his timeline. Fusion never existed. Gohan confirms that it must be that thing, stating that had they not known how to do fusion, they probably wouldn't have survived on Namek due to the circumstances of the fight. As they continue, the Earthlings gain the upper hand on Android 19, managing to land a group attack that destroys the robot on the spot, with everyone powering down, realizing the other battles still remain. Seeing this, Piccolo decides it's time for him to get serious as well, as he pushes his Kaioken to times 500, overpowering the android easily, destroying him in a quick combo. Now that 17 and 19 are off the battlefield, the only ones left standing are 16 and 18, with 16 saying that their best option is to retreat, but 18 after watching her brother die does not care about using her sense. As she charges Vegeta with all her might, the prince simply sweeps her, then hits her with a devastating hammer strike, leaving her immobilized on the ground as he charges a big bang attack to finish her off. While Vegeta is launching his blast at his opponent, Piccolo gets behind Android 16 in a flash, hitting him with a mouth blast that leaves nothing left to the imagination. And like that, the threat of the androids are dealt with accordingly, with the Z Fighters not aware of the threat lurking in the shadows. Everyone powers down with Trunks in disbelief. They made such quick work of what was the strongest enemy he had ever witnessed, everyone giving each other a thumbs up hearing this. Goku tells Trunks that he should train with them now, saying that if he were to stay for a week, he can go home stronger than any foe in his timeline. Trunks agrees, mentioning that the time machine needs to refuel anyhow, so they can start immediately, with the Z Fighters departing for now, each going their separate ways. Goku starts to tell Trunks about the Room of Spirit and Time, and how they can make good time out of a little time that he has here, with Trunks also not knowing about the time chamber. The Saiyans all head to Kami's lookout to see Piccolo has already arrived there and will be there for the time being, with the group being filled in about changes around the lookout. Hearing this, Goku asks Kami to make the gravity 200 times Earth for their first day, with Vegeta and Trunks going in for the first year. Goku and Gohan begin to train on the outside in preparation for their year inside, and eventually the two end up taking a nap at the end of their training session to rest up before their times come. The morning comes and Vegeta and Trunks come out of the time chamber, to which Trunks has a notably different presence, not only having grown physically, but his power has skyrocketed, being comparable to Gohan in his full power Super Saiyan state, and he's only in his Super Saiyan 1 form, although it is mastered. Vegeta and Trunks announce the strides they made in the time chamber, claiming to have surpassed their mastered Super Saiyan forms, and immediately the Sun family can tell they aren't joking. Just as this revelation is made, Kami calls everyone to the front of the lookout, claiming to have spotted something terrifying, as he tells them that there's a green monster going around murdering humans. Vegeta mentions that this is the perfect opportunity for them to test their new strength, telling Goku to go train in the meantime while he handles the threat. As they make their way towards the threat, Goku and Gohan enter the time chamber. Vegeta and Trunks arrive at Ginger Town to find everyone gone and only their clothes remaining, alarming the two Saiyans as they just sensed multiple presences here not that long ago. As they walk through and continue looking around, a figure starts to talk from them behind in a creepy tone, with both the Saiyans turning to reveal what seems like a bug approaching them. Trunks remarks that he's never seen this thing before, claiming to be a whole new threat entirely. Cell responds that his name is Cell and they are brothers. This comment sends chills down the Saiyan's spine as they don't entirely understand what he means by that, but both noting that his ki does feel very similar to that of their own. Cell begins to tell the two his story, and as he continues, Trunks realizes that he's still a threat in his timeline as he's from farther in the future, as Vegeta steps up telling Cell that they already defeated the androids, so he can't become perfect. Even though he's shocked to hear this, Cell has a backup plan that will require him to escape, but before he could even finish his thought, Trunks transforms into Super Saiyan 2 and starts to blitz Cell before he could even react. Trunks is still shocked at the power he gained after spending only a year with Vegeta, noting how little training he has done compared to now as he continues to barrage the android. While not instantly dying to Trunks' attacks, Cell is completely overwhelmed and hadn't thought of this happening, so even though he's amped by absorbing humans, he couldn't hold a candle to the Saiyans even in their Super Saiyan 1 forms. Trunks is finished toying around, and with one full power blast, he ends Cell, completely vaporizing him without even intending to. As the battle is over, Vegeta scolds Trunks for not finishing Cell sooner, beckoning that it could be a grave mistake that he makes in the future, with Trunks taking note of his father's words, noting that the first piece of advice his father has ever given him. The duo make their way back to Kami's lookout, wondering about the strides Goku and Gohan are making in the time chamber. As Trunks asks Vegeta if he thinks Goku will be stronger than him, he side-eyes Trunks as he pretends to not hear the question. As they are flying back to the tower, they see the sky turning black, and this is their first time ever seeing Shenron, so they don't notice any change in his appearance. They arrive at the tower and see the dragon dispersing, seeing Piccolo and Kami at the base of it. As the dragon leaves, Piccolo's power begins to skyrocket. Vegeta and Trunks are in disbelief when they realize what's happening, and as Piccolo's power is still rising, he shocks both of them into their base forms. And before the two know it, Piccolo's power starts to simmer down. The two don't even realize it yet, that this isn't even the full extent of Piccolo's power, as they start to question how he got so strong so fast. Piccolo begins to explain that he had the dragon unlock his latent potential. I think that this is a good time to say that Piccolo would have been stronger than the Piccolo from the superhero movie, so the wish was that much more potent. He adds that without the wish, at his maximum power, his would have still eclipsed Trunks and Vegeta's by a wide margin, and hearing this angers the prince. The prideful Saiyan challenges him to a battle, not wanting to believe such a thing to be true, so Piccolo kindly accepts. As they fly into the air, Vegeta powers up with anger, still in disbelief that someone that isn't a Saiyan surpassed him, even at his newest peak, Super Saiyan 2. Scarily enough, Piccolo at his current peak in power should be relative to God Goku from the main timeline, who is leagues above anything in the original timeline at this point. Unfortunately for Vegeta, Piccolo ends the fight before it even begins. With a swift neck chop, Vegeta's put to sleep. Piccolo brings Vegeta down and hands him to Trunks, as Trunks is just also in disbelief of the power Piccolo just had on display. Even if only for a split second, Trunks felt the sheer weight of his ki alone, and has been frozen since. Some time passes, and the Saiyans are exiting the time chamber, and what could only be described as a gust of wind takes over the lookout. The two Saiyans step out talking indiscreetly. Even Piccolo is alarmed at the power he senses coming out, noting that one power dwarfs the other and everyone else's, being relative to himself without Kaioken. As Goku and Gohan approach, the group realizes that it's not Goku that's the stronger one, it's in fact Gohan, with both the Saiyans relieved to be back on the outside again. Vegeta questions Goku on the strides they made, noting that Goku and Gohan are still in their ascended states, with Goku implying that they aren't at their peaks. Vegeta's jaws just drop, realizing that he just quickly got surpassed yet again. Goku notes that he took a page out of Piccolo's book and learned to implement his Kaioken into his Super Saiyan forms, boasting that he can use Kaioken times 10 on top of his Master Super Saiyan 2 state, and that he only learned this out of necessity to help Gohan master his own form. Gohan, on the other hand, has mastered his own Super Saiyan state, dwarfing Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks in their Super Saiyan 2 forms, but also has his own ascended Super Saiyan state, though not fully mastered just yet. Regardless, in this form, Goku's Kaioken times 10 isn't enough, as he just has to push it to Kaioken times 20 to even keep up. The two Saiyans then ask about the threat Kami was telling them of, and as Vegeta and Trunks tell them what happened, Piccolo interrupts and says that he would like to spar Gogeta if the two Saiyans didn't mind. Goku looks at Vegeta and he just tells him to get it over with. As the two fuse together, Gogeta is born once more. Gogeta tells Piccolo that this won't go like the last time, with Piccolo implying that there wasn't a last time. That was Vegeta and you aren't him. Gogeta chuckles and says touche as they fly up readying themselves for battle. They both start in their base forms and surprisingly are matching each other quite well. More to Gogeta's shock than Piccolo as he knows this isn't even close to his peak in power. Things start to get serious when Gogeta decides to turn Super Saiyan, as Piccolo realizes he will have to go into his awakened state as well to not be left behind. And as they continue fighting, Piccolo begins to realize he still can't keep up with Super Saiyan Gogeta. Struggling to fight back, Piccolo shouts Kaioken and amps it up to 500 times, pushing back and finally breaking ground against the Saiyan, as the two continue to throw blows that can shake the planet. The tides turn as Gogeta is the one now on the back pedal, and he doesn't hesitate to transform again into Super Saiyan 2. Now with the two back on par, they can't help but smile, relishing the thought of being challenged and enjoying the heat of battle. Piccolo goes for one more power up, now transforming into his orange form. The tides once again turn as Gogeta is held back, shocked at the true depth of Piccolo's power, but also excited for the challenge ahead. Gogeta digs deep and pulls something from Goku's memories that even Vegeta isn't aware of yet, tapping into an even greater form of Super Saiyan which Goku has yet to name, Super Saiyan 3. Piccolo is set back, telling the fusion he's just full of surprises. As Gogeta thanks Goku for the technique, he tells Piccolo to get ready as he charges back at him, catching the Namekian off guard. Even at Piccolo's level of power, Gogeta in his Super Saiyan 3 form is that much stronger than him, so he maxes out his Kaioken at 1000 for the final showdown. Gogeta mentions that was a good idea. He'll go all out too, and as the fusion shouts Kaioken, they defuse. Piccolo is shocked, but also relieved seeing as he didn't think he'd win if Gogeta stacked Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan 3. Goku as usual just smiles and puts up a peace sign. Piccolo and the Saiyans all descend down, and as they do, Trunks tells them that he's had a great time, but it's time for him to head back to his future and defeat his androids. Everyone says goodbye as Trunks' time machine departs, as he bids them farewell as well. And with that, we'll leave off here. So what did you guys think? What do you guys think will happen in the next part? Let me know with your comments and suggestions down below.